Long time ago, our planet, Earth, was vastly different than those today. There are no oceans, seas, rivers with water, no flora and fauna anywhere. Just lifeless and empty. And then, suddenly happened while orbiting around the Sun, this planet had been struck down by a Mars-sized planet. That impact eventually formed the Moon, shortly after it formed. Over time, the surface slowly cooled from the red heat. Most of the atmosphere, early Earth, was composed primarily of nitrogen, carbon dioxide, and other relatively inert gases, and was lacking in free oxygen. However, evidence that an oxygen-rich atmosphere existed. The hot molten insides of the Earth leaked out at weak places in the crust. These volcanoes created more rock surface on the young Earth. The clouds formed by the volcanoes caused huge amounts of rain to fall and the oceans were created. When the crust cooled, huge pieces of the crust began to move in different directions. The first life formed. This was not cell life as we know it, but it was life just the same. The oceans were not like the oceans of today. Some say they were thick like soup. The chemistry of the oceans made them the perfect place for life to begin. It takes millions of years of tectonic plates still move around on the surface, and the harsh climate changes in every direction on a global scale. They helped make the air and water around the Earth full of oxygen. Later on, this form immediately branch out and create many different kinds of plants and animals we seen today. Journey back on time, what's meaning life on Earth looked like, what were they look like, rather they flourished, death through extinction, or survived a period of time in which they lived. The Cambrian period saw the start of life as we know. However, around 542 million years ago, rather beyond land, the ocean saw a different story. Beyond the curtain, something very strange but unique. Where is the life forms? All over the ocean's surface, many life forms are desperate to survive, against the odds. This ocean are largely filled with and surrounded by marine life forms, that actually never seen before. Not all animals are soft-bodied. Some are bizarre, some strange, some deeply unique. It depends up their appearance. Many of the creatures living in the Cambrian seas developed hard structures for defense, hard shells, scales, and spikes covering the outside of the body. The plants of the Cambrian were mostly simple, one-celled algae. The single cells often grew together to form large colonies. When life exploded into animal form, marking the beginning of the Paleozoic, the trilobites, it was this prolific arthropod that became the signpost for the era. Its body has skeleton body armor around it. It feeds on microorganisms on the ocean floor. They spent most of the time on the ocean floor, such as those groups resting on the surface. While many invertebrates have no backbones at all, lived in the shallow seas. Not all invertebrates dominate the seas. There are early signs of animals called vertebrates, animals with backbones on the back. Animals such as the pikaia looked a bit like a worm with a long fin on each side of its body. The nerve cord was visible as a ridge starting behind the head area and extending almost to the tip of the body. For most of it, it was largely clean, quiet and refreshed, and its surface was beautiful and uniquely structured as the day rolled on. The sunset more into evening skies above with blue, and the moon would brighten the lights of the ocean surface of darkness until the next day. Arthropods such as Opabinia, to those from in groups searching for microorganism for food, measuring up to 7 centimeters in body length, and had a segmented trunk with flaps along its sides and a fan-shaped tail. This creature called Anomalocaris, another arthropod roaming the sea, not only looking for plankton but something different. It begins to eat other sea creatures as they approached on the surface. It was Earth's first earliest predator of the time. These an apex predator not only control the seas but in the future on land who create new generations of apex predatoriness such as sharks, spiders, snakes, crocodiles, hawks, bears and big cats. There was Haecoichthys, the earliest vertebrate passed by while searching for food on the shallows. Although it was primitive fish at the time, it is considered to be the earliest known vertebrate animal in history. The Cambrian period began with an explosion of life forms, which ended in a mass extinction. With advancing glaciers would have lowered the temperature of the shallow seas where so many species lived. Changes in the temperature and the amount of oxygen in the water would have meant the end for any species that could not adapt. Over time, many species who survived the extinction forced to evolve new ones and adapting these changes into the new environment. As the world will change over time, as life would continue exist.